Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We start our class with Ummul Kitab Al-Fatiha. Okay, inshallah this will be our last YouTube video. And then today I'm going to teach, I'm going to focus on two topics. They are Ibadah and Akhlak. To teach Akhlak is not easy. Why it's not easy? Because Akhlak is related to Aqidah. And then at the same time, you have to lead by example. It's not just a theory. Okay, in comparison with akhlaq and moral. Okay, some people say it is akhlaq, some people say it's moral. Moral is different than akhlaq because moral is more on focusing on making choices, teaching your students how to make correct choices, correct ethical choices. Okay, so basically teaching moral, I can say that you give them situations, and then from there you brainstorming, and then you discuss what are the best decision that according to ethics are correct or is correct. Okay, so it involves more cognitive, more logic in terms of that. But when it comes to akhlaq, it is tied to aqidah. You have to be able to explain how by doing good can benefits you in the hereafter, and how by being a good Muslim, having a good akhlaq, that will makes you feel happy and attached to Allah Azza wa Jal. That's why I said it is difficult. The other thing that I think it is difficult because you have to lead by examples. Okay, so to me it's difficult to teach akhlaq. Okay, I give you examples. I give you examples. Because this kind of situation had been asked by some people, had been addressed. Okay, for example, what do you think of if you see your teachers eating while walking? Morally, is it okay or not? In terms of moral, in terms of akhlaq, is it okay or not if you see your teacher eating while walking? Okay, when it comes to akhlaq, I don't think, this is my opinion, I don't think eating while walking is okay, because it is not done by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and our akhlaq should portray the akhlaq of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, in terms of moral, I think it is okay. You understand that? It is okay because you do not do anything wrong. You're just eating while walking. You don't actually disobey any rules. You don't disturb people. It's just a matter of eating and walking. Perhaps you can actually justify your actions by saying that I have been so busy, I don't have time to sit down and really eat because I had to attend a meeting after this. As easy as that. So that's why, again, I think teaching akhlaq is totally different. So you need to justify with a sunnah with a dalil naqli. At the same time, you have to look into the context. Okay, I give you another situation. This is a very simple situation. Okay, when I was in the US, I always attend lectures. Okay, and the lectures was attended by Muslims and non-Muslim, male and female. Okay, and I know pretty well uh, it is not okay for a Muslim guy to touch the female, skin to skin contact. You understand that? I'm not sexually, but for example when they uh, give their hands to shake hands with me. Okay, I usually hesitate. I intentionally sometimes put my hands into my pocket and then ignore them. Ignore the invitation to shake hands. If the females do that, or if the female did that, but if the male, regardless of non-Muslim or Muslim, I can just simply shake hands with him. But with the female, no. So morally, that is wrong. Ethically, that is wrong. But in terms of akhlaq, Rasulullah does not allow us for the guy to actually just simply and touch women. So you understand that. So and then the fact that we want to obey the Muhammad SAW examples because it's the best examples, because we will get reward for that. But in terms of moral, you actually shows that is kind of a disrespect when people want to shake hands with you, the female wants to shake hands with you, and then you avoid it or you just ignore it. It can create another issues from there. There will things that you are very gender biased. Okay, these are the examples of a situation that again, when you have to explain to them, like the situation that I mentioned to you just now, shaking hands with the non-Muslim female. The Muslim female will understand it easily because they are in this religion. But the non-Muslim female, I don't think it will be easy for them to understand it. Right? So I'm not gonna teach you particularly about akhlaq in this lecture. I will just put a link to a lectures by a famous scholar. Okay, now let's move on to ibadah. How to teach ibadah to our students. The first technique that you should focus on when it comes to teaching ibadah is by demonstrate it to the student, to your student. After you do the demonstration, you want the student to repeat your demonstrations. So demonstrations and repetition. Repetition, they are doing it, they do it, but you have to observe to make sure that they reach to the standards that you want. But bear in mind, not so many students can easily follow exactly what you want them to do because of the exposure. Some of the parents, maybe they are a little bit liberal and they don't really teach students at their homes how to do the ibadah. For example, how to do salah, how to make wudu properly. So that's why, again, you need to observe. And you need to be very patient because if you have students that come from a background, family background, that do not really emphasize on practicing the religious matter, religious affairs, you have to be very patient because you want the students to do it. If you are harsh, if you are very strict and garang toward your student, that will affect the student's perceptions towards the practice of a religious thing that you teach at school. You want them to continuing doing it, whatever that you teach in terms of ibadah at school. Bear in mind as well, there will be some circumstances that could prevent your demonstrations and teaching to be conducted very well at school. First, in terms of facilities. Sometimes you have so many students and the facilities are small. For example, the surau is very small, not enough to cater the needs of your 40 students per class. Okay, and then in terms of time limitation as well, imagine you have 40 students and you want to make sure that each of them can perfectly pray as the way you pray. Okay, and with the small classroom setting, with the small surau, for example, time limitation, I don't think in 1 hour or 2 hours you can actually finish teaching or improving or correcting your 40 students. Okay, so these are the things that you have to bear in mind when it comes to teach ibadah. And at the same time, you have to bear in mind as well, your school probably do not have enough qualified. They are qualified and good enough ustaz or ustazah that could really answer or explain stuff to students. Okay, again, since this is gonna be my last lecture, I'll post you a link. Please go to this link. Watch how Nu'man Ali Khan advised the kids, his kids, to pray. I think this is a very beautiful lecture by Nu'man Ali Khan. Okay, with that, I would like to say thank you very much for being with me throughout this COVID semester. And please forgive my mistakes. I know Nur Adeline actually asked me to teach RPH or lesson plan. I want to, but at the same time, I think I could not make it because first of all, it's not in the syllabus. And secondly, it will be taught in the method 2. If I teach it now, so kesian lah pada the next lecturer yang akan ajar method 2, method teaching I said. So most of his or her points will be taken out by me, dah di-explain. Nanti you rasa boring pula dengan lecturer tu. So it's not fair for whoever that gonna teach that method number 2. So don't worry, inshallah we'll meet again. And thank you very much for being such a nice student. And please comment on every YouTube videos, so that because your comment actually is a proof that you attend my class. We do not have live sessions because of circumstances among your friends. Some of them do not have a good internet networking, so I make it into YouTube. Alright, so we finish our class with tasbih kifran surah walas. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.